Sweet, here we go. Uh, it is time to do some back testing. The numbers on my screen are a little bit fuzzy because I took off my glasses, but that way there's no glare. So you can see my eyes and I don't look like a creep in some anime show hiding behind glares in his glasses. So we're going to be doing back testing from April 1st. You can see that's where we have this time frame set. So I've already put it in bar replay modes. So we're actually going to be going through the same month of data that I back tested once before using tradersync, and we're going to be manually entering all of our trades. There's probably a more efficient way to do this, but I want all of the statistics that this will put out for us. So everything's going to be MES. Contract multiplier, I don't even know why that's a thing, so that just stays at 0. You can buy or sell. It's going to give us the date and the time, and I'll just be rounding down to the hour. The expiration date is always going to be June 17th for these. And this should be automatically putting commissions at 25 cents per contract. If it's not, I'm not going to bother typing that because that's just less typing that I have to do. I thought about trying to put this in like a split screen mode, but I don't think it's going to cooperate with us very well if we try to do that. So I'm just going to put tradersync off to the side and we'll periodically review it as we are moving along. So you won't get to see me type numbers in. So I mean, we can try it. Let's try it and see how it works out. My goal is not to spend forever doing this, but that might very well be. Okay, here's our order entry form. That's actually looks pretty good. So hopefully this works as intended. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and get started. The idea behind this back test is that anytime we hit a zone long, we're looking for type 1 and type 2 entries, long and short. If we hit it from the top, we're going long. If we hit it from the bottom, we're going short. Speed bump zones do not count, so when we get down to areas like this where there's purple, I don't trade those as zones because they're just not the best areas to base entries on, so I'm not going to do that. Just going to be doing it hour by hour, and I'm just going to assume that I'm able to trade every single time it hits a zone, whether or not I would be awake or anything like that. We're just... Is that a type 1? That looks a whole lot like a type 1 to me. I don't know. Let's wait for it to come down into the zone, maybe. There we go. Type 1 entry. April 1st at 8 o'clock in the morning. And so we have April 1st at... can I just do 8? Oops. Is it not? It's not going to let me type. That's a really annoying feature. It's I need to know how to type this. Hold on. Time 0800 00. Okay, contract expiration, shares or contracts. Oh, and every trade that we're doing is going to be $500 per trade risk. I'd give it that long wick right there. Let's check the 4 hour just to be sure. Yeah, I like where my stop's at on that one. So there's that. And there's our 2 to 1. And so it's going to be 3 contracts at 45.37. Okay. Moving on. We got our type 2, which is going to end up being a loss. Oops. Type 2, and it's an hourly wick. That would be a super annoying time to get tagged out. And so that's going to be a 3 to 1 would look something like that. 8 contracts at about 12 o'clock. Same dates. We're going to add an execution here. Buy right around 12 o'clock. 8 contracts at 45, 15, 25. And then add an execution. We have 8 and 3, so that's 11. So that's going to be sell at, I'm also just going to say, I'm going to say 1 o'clock just for the sake of record keeping on this. what did I say, 11 contracts with a price of 45.0450. All right, so we're going to save that. So what we'd be looking for is a clean break and a retest. That almost looks like we're getting ready to get faked out, which would be super annoying. But now how do I tell it to... Oh man, it shrinks to fit this whole thing here. Look at that. And then I am going to run some filters. Let's make sure that I only have the back testing. Oh, frick. I just put in the wrong portfolio, didn't I? Hold on. We got to fix. We did something wrong. That's super annoying. That would throw off my real trading history, and that would not be good. So June 1st, June 2nd, apply dates. Or sorry, April. Can I change the portfolio from within the trade? Is that something that it will allow me to do? Probably not. Okay, so I just have to redo that trade then, right? Because there's no way to switch portfolios on that. That would be super helpful if I could select an action. Yeah. Okay. Delete orders. Yes. So that should completely delete this trade. Dashboard. So that means our... Okay, good. We're back to 0. So let's go back to add a trade. Sorry about that, guys. Let's get it right this time. And fortunately, once I do that once, it should stay. Buy on April 1st. The time was 0800 for the first one. Expiration is June 17th. We got 3 contracts with the price of, what did I say that one was? 45.37. We add an execution. We buy at 1200. 8 contracts with the price of 45.15.25. And we add an execution where we sell 11 of them at 1300 for I say 45.0450. Save. That is for the backtesting portfolio. While this is saving, okay, let's go ahead. We're gonna double check our dashboard one more time just to make sure I'm getting this right. And we're gonna do portfolio backtesting and get rid of that date range. And there we go. So now when we check our dashboard, it'll show all our backtested results. Let's go. Okay, back to manually entering trades. So is that a break and a retest? Is that a gap on the futures? Y'all saw that wick, right? And then we gapped. I'm not counting that as a trade. Nothing about that actually makes sense. So we're gonna wait for a clear direction because that just looked like we got faked out. It wasn't really a break and a retest. That's a break and retest. So let's grab that type 1 right there. With a stop right here this time. 2-to-1, $500 risk. Good, good, good. So it's going to be MES buy on the 4th of April at 2 o'clock in the morning. contract expiration right there. We got 2 contracts for the price of 7. Okay. Keep it going. Do we get a type 2 on that? I think we do get a type 2 on this, because if I remember correctly, this ends up being... I drew that red zone in later. Oh, sorry about that. Did not mean for that to go all the way down. We did get the type 2. So the type 2 is right here with a stop right here. 3-to-1 risk to reward ratio right here. Come on. There we go. And that is the 5th at 1400. So it's at our execution buy on the 5th at 1400. And we got 6 contracts at a price of 45, 15, 25. And let's go. And I think we take a loss right here. That did, yeah, that tagged out. Okay, and so we add an execution. We had 6 and 2 contracts. That's 8 contracts that we sell. On the 6th at 2 o'clock in the morning, sell 8 contracts for a price of about 4,500. Cool. Took our losses, and I would consider that a close. So let's go ahead and look for a retest at that point. If we get a retest to the downside. It's looking like it might not give it to us. There we go. Type 1 short. Let's clear these out so we keep ourselves decluttered. And I feel like I need to go to the dashboard and then go back to manually enter a trade just to be sure. So we've got our type 1 short, would have been right about there. Unless this is one of those evil times that it avoids your limit order by a very tiny amount, which I've seen happen more than once. I would stop out right there. My 2-to-1 would be down here. I don't know if I mentioned at the beginning of this, I'm running 2-to-1 risk to reward ratios on type 1s and then 3-to-1 on type 2s. Just looking for the quicker win on a type 2 more than anything. So there's our $500 risk. So backtesting, MES, sell, and that is going to be, you get on the hourly here, the 7th at 1400. And I sold 3. Oh, that'd be so annoying. Let's extend this over here. Take profit. All right. So on the 10th at 2100. What? Oh, frick. This is supposed to be April 2022. Well, I messed that up. What? Oh, that's a Sunday. We can do that. All right, hold on. I could recover this. April 7th, 2022. Did I do 2021 for my other trades as well? That would really be annoying. But it shouldn't actually impact the results. It's just going to be really funny if you try to look at it like on an actual equity curve. I can go back and change it later. So the 10th at 2100. I love how you have to actually enter both the minutes and the seconds or it's not going to accept it. We sold 3 contracts for a price of 45675. Cool. There's our first win. Wait for that little confirmation to pop up. because it's taking its sweet old time thinking about things. Do we ever? Three shares. Now it's save, right? Are we gonna do it? There we go. Let's just check out our dashboard real quick. Oh yeah, they're 2022. I don't know why it was showing 21 for the other. What? What is happening right now? No, the 7th to the 10th was the one that I just won, right? 7th to the 10th. Oh, it'd say my entry price was 3. My entry price was actually 415, 15, 25. No, that's not right. What are 45, 15, 25. There we go. Did we get it right? My goodness. Okay. This should actually be May 4th. May 4th and, or sorry, April 4th, April 5th, and April 6th. If any of you guys know how to automate this kind of a thing, by the way, probably might be helpful. I'm sure there's some software out there that'll do it, but I'm just too dumb to use it. So we're doing this the slow and clunky way. We're 15 minutes into this, and we've done a grand total of like 3 trades, so that's sweet. Actually, let's keep that on there in case I need it again. No, let's just delete it. We'll keep this clean and organized. I think we're about to get a type 1 long. All right, type 1 long. Do we have any previous data? I guess my stop would have to be right there, wouldn't it? Yeah, my stop's gonna have to be right there. That's a huge, it's like a wide stop. Yeah, just a nice wide stop that, I mean, I'm still in 2 contracts, but you see this one's got to run for a while for it to actually hit profit. Okay, so we are at, let's do 11th of April at 2000 hours. How do you pronounce that? I don't actually know how to pronounce military time. April 11th at 20. Contract expirations right there. We get 2 contracts for a price of 438925, right? Nope. Where's our entry? 438875. Okay. Are we gonna get that type 2? Did that hit? Yeah, that hit profit, didn't it? Did that hit profit or did it avoid it? I don't know. Dude, I'm torn on that because that looks like it should have hit. I mean, technically I would have to have, I guess we'll just keep running it because there's that 2-to-1 is technically going to be further up. So Missed profit by a little bit, we'll say. Which would be the world's most annoying trade. Can you imagine like missing your take profit by a couple points? Which is why Don trails everything, by the way, in case you haven't figured that out already. All right. Type 2 entry. It's right here. And it does not look good. Okay, type 2 entered on the 17th at 1800. So add an execution. Buy on the 17th at 1800. 6 contracts, a price of 43.63. Okay. Probably tag out right there. That'd be super annoying. Okay. Finally hit take profit on that one. So add an execution. And this is where it's going to be interesting because it's actually going to base our profit off of our average price instead of how I was doing it incorrectly before. So 44.0775 on the 18th at 1800. That's going to be execution 3. So it's going to be selling 6 contracts. What did it say on the 18th at 1800? Selling 6 contracts for a price of 44.0775. Okay. And I'd be looking for another type 2 if the opportunity presents itself. I need to make sure this is over here so that I can keep track of that. Are we seriously? That's a trade where I'd probably just like get out of it out of disgust at that point. There it is. Oh my goodness. That took from the time of entry to there 8 days, 11 hours, so almost 9 days just to get profit on your type 1. That would be so annoying. Okay, so we're gonna sell. This will put us to flat. We're gonna sell 2 contracts with a take profit 447025. Let me put that price in there before I forget it. And that was on the 20th at 6 o'clock in the morning. How many contracts was that? 2. I'm interested in seeing what does that take profit look like. I mean, that's respectable. $2,000 profit on that. Let's see where the... So it does calculate our average entry price and then our average exit price. And the thing about futures is it follows a first in, first out rule. So when you average down, when I get out of that type 2 being closer, it's actually getting rid of a couple of my original type 1 contracts. And that's why I wanted to run it all through tradersync. Because in my head, I'm like, okay, well, that's, how is that math actually going to work itself out? So as you can see, for that, this is the type 2 that we exited. It was $1,085 profit. And then for the type 1 that we exited was an additional $1,072. So not actually a 3-to-1 return on this one individual trade because of the fact that first in, first out, we bought 2 contracts, bought 6 contracts. That puts us up to 8 contracts. Took profit on 6 for the type 2, but that means that it's actually getting rid of these 2 and then 4 of these. And so the other runners that you get are from that type 2 now. So your average cost is lower and they're running further. The only way that I could see this really impacting P&L is if you take some type 2s, you get profit on those. Sorry, but then you get tagged out of those and you don't have the chance to really accumulate profits before you like do a break and retest moving forward from there. So it's going to be interesting to see how this all plays itself out, really. And I'm going to have to go through these and tag these later. I'll do that at a later point. I'm not doing that in this video because it's already going to take forever to get through everything I need to get through. So there we are, looking for long entries down here, short entries up here. Let's see what plays out. And man, we just danced around doing nothing for a very long time. Okay, type 1 long. Never quite got the short entry up there. That would be annoying because that would look like a really good short entry. Okay. So we're doing symbol MES buy. We bought on the 21st at 1400. And we got in at 4389.25, right? What's my entry price? 4388.25. Okay. And I think, if I remember correctly, this one's a loss. So there we go. Type 2. Where would I have... If I'm being honest with myself, I would have my type 2 right here based on those wicks. I would want similar price action to take place right there. So 3 to 1 right there. And I might just round that up. I'm not going to round up in this backtest. It'd be super tempting to round that up and take on some additional risk and make it 6 contracts like I did the other one. But I'm not going to do that. So add execution, we got in a type 2 April 21st at 1900. Got in 5 contracts for a price of 43.65.50. Oh, all right. Well, we fast forwarded a little bit, but there we go. That's where that ended. So we got out 22nd at 8 o'clock in the morning. 5 and 2 is 7 contracts. That's going to be sell. What did I just say? The 22nd at 7 o'clock in the morning. For an average price of 43.48.75. Okay, so taking the L on that one and probably looking to go long right here would be my anticipation. Okay, type 1. Why did that just happen? Let's go, come on. Type 1, let's figure out where my stop would be. Probably right here. Oh, that would annoy me. Would I be able to fudge that a little bit? I will sometimes set my limits a little bit lower so that I get a full run at a 2 to 1. So that's what would have happened in this case with these zones being as close together as they are. And actually, I think I just did that recently, trading the same area. I'm pretty sure the price came back up to here in more recent memory. So there we go. We're gonna do buy on the, oh, let's get that right. Buy on the 22nd at 12 o'clock. April 22nd at 12. 17th is our expiration. We got 3 contracts for a price of 42.9650. Okay, so there's our type 1. That would have tagged me in because I would have, let's check historical price action. I'm going to take a loss on this either way, so it doesn't really matter, but I'd probably have it right there at 42.76. That sucks that that's going to be a loss. Come on. Entry price would be 42.76. With the stop. That ain't right. What did I just say? My 42.78 must be what I meant. With a stop right here. So on the 22nd, at 1300, we got in 8 contracts, 42.78, and then it looks like we got tagged out immediately. Oh, dude, look at that. That'd be so disheartening because you're like up that much almost at your take profit, only for it to turn around and get tagged out. And honestly, had I gotten in lower, like had I made the decision to be in lower, that wouldn't have happened because my 3-to-1 would have been closer. So that's kind of annoying. So it's 8, and what did I just say? This one was 8 and 3. That's 11 contracts that we got out at an average price of 42.65.25 on the 22nd at 14.45. Got out of 11 contracts for, what did I say it was? 42.65.75. Make sure that's going to import properly. Like that. That's one where it's like, had my type 2 been like here, and my 3-to-1 been here, we would have made full profit before it came crashing through. So I'm a little bit salty about that. I think in my other backtest that actually ended up being a profitable trade too. But instead we're just getting smacked around. So maybe we'll see a hopefully something of a short entry here soon. There we go. So we got the type 1. Would have been right here. My stop would be right above that wick. Maybe right about there. So on the 25th of April at 1300, we shorted 2 contracts for a price of 42. 4274.75? Yeah. Right? Oh, 427350. And then the type 2, do I have historical data to run on here? Man, look how that's just a chop fest. You would almost want your wick, your stop all the way up there. Yeah, so let's go ahead and do that. Because I could still afford 2 contracts. So there's that. My type 2, would I have gotten filled right there? Let's say I'm a little bit higher up. And see if that fills at all. There we go. Watch this just end up being a loss. So on the 25th at 20 hours, we got filled for 4 contracts. I did sell up here, right? Okay, 25th at 20. 4 contracts for a price of $42.99. Nope. $42.97.50. Please be a winner. Doesn't look super good. Okay, good. So closed out of 4 contracts. 26th at 9 o'clock. Bought 4 contracts back for a price of $42.30.75. Okay. We were so close. There we go. Okay, so this finally got filled. So I'll add the execution on the 26th at 1400. Oops, that's the expiration date. Bought back 2 contracts for a price of about $41.87.75. And save. Should give us a little green bubble. There we go. Let's check our dashboard, make sure nothing looks completely off. All right. Kind of a low win rate right now. Not looking super hot as a result of that. Let's see how this plays out continuing forward. So that would be the month of, well, we still got some time left in April. So let's get rid of these, get rid of these. It's looking like we're going to get that type 1. Hopefully that doesn't. Okay, so stop would have to be down here on this one, which would be pretty annoying. That's really far down, but that's where the wicks go. So let's go back to the hourly. I kind of wish it wouldn't display everything like that, but type 1. Stop's going to be right there. 2 to 1 is going to be right about there. And then I got to ticket forward 1. All right. Type 1 is going to be the 26th buy on April 26th at, what did I say that was? 1500. And that would be 2 contracts. I would really just want to make that 3 contracts. No, that would be cheating. Got in at 41.63.75, 2 contracts. And our 2 to 1's up here right about. And then at execution, we got that type 2. I really hope this is a winner. Okay, so also the 26th at 1500. We're going to say that's 1530 just for the sake of clarity. We bought 4 contracts with a price of 414875. Please be a winner. Oh no. Oh wait. Whoa, it's a violent candle. I haven't hit a winner on either one of these yet. There we go. Okay. Chew. So got a winner on that type 2. The 27th at 3 o'clock in the morning. That'd be a nice thing to wake up to. Let's add an execution. So it's a sell the 27th at, and we sold 4 contracts for a price of 42.12.50 it looks like. Okay. Hopefully that's just going to continue pushing up for us. Probably not. I'll be looking for another type 2 if it'll give it to us. Buy side activity coming in hot, and there is, let's get rid of this. There's our profit, the 27th at 11 o'clock in the morning. It's going to be sell, the 27th at 11. We sold 2 contracts for a price of 4227.50. Let's make sure this populates correctly. Okay, cool. Back to that 50%. There's a 2.0 profit factor. That means we're on the right track, which is super encouraging to see. It took forever to actually get there. Wow. Okay, so we're looking for type 1s long, type 2s, or sorry, type 1s, we're looking to go long here, go short here, right? We're between zones, we're dancing around, so I'm just going to play the first one that gets hit, which looks like it's going to be the one to the downside. And honestly, this looks like it's about to curl over to the downside. I would love a test on that top zone. It does not look like it wants to give us anything there, though. There we go. So there's our type 1 short, and I said my stop would be right there. So our type 1 short with a stop right there. These are the kind of trades I'm almost a little bit more confident in, like this one right here, because the overall trend is down. And so it has me inclined to want to, go down on that. So I don't mind taking those type 1s when it looks like the overall trend is in our favor. That retest is just like a sweet retest. I did not think it was going to happen. We sold, sorry, on the 28th at 12. April 28th at, that's probably 2 contracts. And we sold at 42.75.50. Okay. Add execution, just have that primed and ready to go. You gonna give us a type 2? Type 2, I probably would be running this one super close, right about there. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna prime it by putting it on the board. See if we get filled or not. And my 3-to-1 would be right there. Filled. Okay. So sell, that first one was a sell too, right? Good. Sell on the 28th at 1300. Sell 4 contracts for a price of 42.9850. And hopefully the next execution is not me stopping out. Please be nice and green. Oh, please, come on. Just a little bit further. Just a little bit further. Don't do this to me. That came so close to profit. There we go. My goodness. All right, that did hit profit on the type 2. And that is on the 29th at 8 o'clock in the morning. So that would be our third execution buy on the 29th at 0800. I can't type anymore. Buy back 4 contracts for a price of, what is that? 42.3125. Add execution. So I'm looking for another type 2 or to take profit on the type 1. And it looks like profit it is. All right. And then so at the 29th at 11 o'clock. And my wife's home. 29th at 11, took profit on 2 contracts. So that's bought them back for a price of 41.8625. So there we go. That's another nice trade. Gotta love those type 2s are where this system's really gonna start pumping out profits, I think. Yeah, there's our cumulative return, nice profit factor going into that, nice win rate going into that. So awesome when it works out in your favor. Obviously, that's not the instance all the time, but I think those type 2s are really where the system shines. So got our type 1 entry. I would be really tempted to play it closer and play it right there. And actually, I think I kind of want to do that. No, because we've seen this happen. We've retested this zone twice before. I'm going to play it safe. So we got our type 1. Can I just do 3 contracts? I would have done 3 on this. Let's be realistic with myself. If you can risk 2.96 contracts, I would just do 3 on that. So MES, that is a buy on the 29th at 1300. And we're going to do entry price of 41.61. Okay. Let's see if we get that type 2. We got a type 2 and a tag out. Okay. So of course the one time I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go heavier. I get tagged out. Okay. So on the 29th at 1400, bought 4 contracts for a price of 414825. And then we're gonna add that execution where we sold the whole position at 41.28, it looks like. That happened, say 14.30. Close enough just to put it behind the other one. That was 4 contracts there, 3 contracts there. That is 7 contracts total. What did I just say? 41.28, right? Yeah, 41.28. All right, taking that loss. Moving on. All right, let's plot this out. Why is that? We don't have a line on that zone. That's funky. Wonder why that is. Do we have previous price action to go on there? That's annoying. I would not like that at all. Well, I guess I'll just put it right about there, and this would be a terrible scenario. You've got like 2 zones so close to one another that, I mean, what are you realistically going to be able to trade on that? I would almost have to treat my type 1 like that. Let's open a new tab real quick. We'll go to MES1 exclamation point on the 29th at 1300. Let's see if we can't scroll that. I swear I'm not looking at candles for what that's worth. So we tagged that, we took that loss. Oh. And that's today's date, isn't it? Come on now. All right, let's figure this out real quick. 29th, 1300. Right, so we hit that, we tagged out of that trade. And if we're trying to play long right here, 404.750 would be my stop. Right, just because like we've gotten this long wick once before, but that's so unusual that 404.575. I'll give it a little bit of room. So 404.575 is going to be my stop. And I would basically have to treat that as a type 1. I would have an alert set and see what it looks like when we come down into there. But, or of course we get the retest, like optimally we'll get the retest of this zone and then just be able to short things. So let's see what happens. Yeah, there's a retest of a type 1. So that would have gotten me in on the type 1. With a stop probably right above here. Right? Maybe? Yeah, we haven't really had the opportunity to short this zone before. Okay. So that is going to be sell on the 1st of May at 1700. Three contracts. It's a price of 41.4750. I mean, there's a real retest if you're looking for something more specific. My type 2, I'd be looking for. I'd have to play that one close. Try to make the most out of it that I possibly can. And that would still have to run a pretty good ways, basically zone to zone. But if we get that, we get 5 contracts. I don't think we're gonna get it though. Oh, there it is. All right, so the type 2 got filled. Execution number 2 is going to be the type 2. That gets filled on the 2nd of May at 9 o'clock in the morning. Five contracts for a price of $41.62. Oh, and actually, it would have filled profit on that first hour too. Holy cow. Yeah. Let's go back to the 15-minute just so I have that. We would have gotten filled here and then taken profit at 10:45 in the morning. That's crazy. That's the 2nd of May, right? Date is going to be the 2nd of May. So yeah, execution 3 is taking profit on the type 2 trade. So that, let's go back to the hourly so I can actually see, but that's going to be 5 contracts for a price of 41.09. And hopefully execution 4 is taking profit on that type 1. I will be looking for another type 2 if we push up though. But there we have it. That was profit on the type 1, right? I'm saying that that's profit on the type 1. I mean, we could probably just go forward another hour and there you have it, right? If you were uncertain about that, we'll even log it as that. So 2nd of May at 12 o'clock. Execution 4 is going to be the 2nd of May at 12. We sell 3 contracts for a price of 409275. Or sorry, we buy 3 contracts, not sell. Save. Make sure we're not seeing any little errors or anything. There we go. That's logging 2 trades. That doesn't look right. Hold on, what's going on? I messed up something. I really did mess up something here. It's telling me that I sold and bought the May 2nd at 9 o'clock in the morning was the type 2? Yeah, that should have been type 2 entry. So let's check this real quick. Okay, something about this makes no sense at all. So we're going to delete these trades. I'm just going to delete the orders and we'll redo them just for the sake of having accurate records here. Kind of annoying that I have to do that, but delete orders, yes. Okay. Couldn't make any changes, error in updating trade. Item not exist. Whoever designed this, his native language is not English, judging from the tutorial videos. Hence the phrase item not exist. Okay, so let's do this one more time. I said that we got in the type 1 short the 1st of May at 1700. So it's our first trade. We're going to sell type 1 short on the 1st of May at 1700. There's a contract expiration, and that is 3 contracts at 4147.50. Okay. Add execution. The next execution is May 2nd at 9 o'clock in the morning. That is a sell. May 2nd at 9 o'clock. And we sell 5 contracts for a price of 4162. Okay. Our third execution is May 2nd, and I'm just gonna log this as 9:30. It was like 9:15. 9:45 it was, right? I think. Doesn't really matter that much. Let's just say it was 9:45, where we buy back 5 contracts to take profit on the type 2. So far we have a sell, and then our first buyback of 5 contracts to take profit on the type 2, and that occurs at about 410875. Right? Yeah, 410875. Then add our execution. Our fourth and final execution is a buyback for 3 contracts with the price of 409250. And that occurs on, we'll just play it safe, 2nd of May at 12. Now we'll save that execution. Okay. Did it not save that? I changed screens too soon. This is going to be the death of me. I'm seriously going to enter this trade for a 3rd time. A first at 17. For 14750. Add execution. That was execution number 1. We sold. Execution number 2. We sell. May 2nd at 9 o'clock in the morning. We sell 5 contracts for a price of 4162. Add another execution. We buy back 5 contracts at the 2nd at, what did I say it was, like 9:45 in the morning. So we buy 5 contracts. This one was sell. We buy 5 contracts for a price of 410875. We add our final execution. We buy back 3 contracts on 2nd of May at 12 o'clock. For a price of 409250. Save. Let's not mess this up this time. Very good. Just make sure I got it right. Very good. So there's another $2,100 winner. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Finally, we're going to go let's get rid of this. Our type 1. I'm just sticking with that because it actually got filled. So our type 1 got filled at 2nd of May at, I'm going to call that 1 o'clock. Just for my record keeping purposes. So by the 2nd of May. Oops, at 1300. 17th is the expiration, and we're buying 3 contracts right there for a price of 40.7825. Okay. And so type 2 is going to be, I would just have to play that one super close. And so my 3-to-1 would be right there. If we get filled, we get filled. Okay. Hopefully that turns into a winner. So at execution, we buy the 2nd of May at, I'm just going to call it 13.30. We buy 6 contracts for a price of 40.6025. Hopefully our next execution is taking profit. Oh man, we just took profit on both of those and went short. Holy cow. Okay. So our next execution is selling 6 contracts. Oops. At 2nd of May at 1400. Selling 6 contracts for a price of 41.0525. At execution, we are selling 3 contracts at, I said it was 1400, so I'm going to call this one 1430. Selling 3 contracts for a price of 4144. Okay, so our first, let's pull this up so we can actually see it. Our first trade was buying 3 contracts. Our second trade was buying 6 contracts. Third trade is getting out of the type 2 for profit, so selling 6 contracts. Execution for selling 3 contracts. And we would be right in on the, okay, right in on the next trade here. I said my stop would be right about here. Did I get a chance to fudge those numbers at all before? I would definitely think about it, but I'd probably have my limit order set right about there. Yeah, so not the best, but there it is. I'm going to keep those there for further reference in case I need them. But so our next trade is going to be selling. We're going to call that 1445. 2nd of May. What is, yeah, 1445. Selling 3 contracts for a price of, I just moved it. Don't do that. 41.49. Okay. At execution, do we get a type 2? Bull flag? Where did I have my type 2 before? Because I think that would have just filled it. I should have put it on there just to be sure. Okay, that would have filled it either way. So, assuming I had it, let's say slightly above there. This is probably just going to be a loss anyways. I can't even click the right thing anymore. This is gonna be the last trade, and then I'm wrapping up for the night. So execution 2 is selling 5 contracts. That is the 2nd of May at 20. Selling 5 contracts at 416175. Adding execution is hopefully taking profit on that type 2. Oof, that's ugly. That's gonna be a loss. That looks like a break and a retest. Yeah, that's gonna suck. Because I'm not in a position to go long either. Everything about that says we're going long. And so we sell off. Okay. Everything about that. That's a break and a retest and a bull flag. My stop loss is about to get hit right now. Dude, what is going on? That looks like a break and retest to the downside. I seriously have no clue. Terrible price action. All right, so we got chopped and took that loss. So there's execution number 3. We're getting out of everything at 41.79.25. We're buying everything back. And that's going to be 3 and 5. That's 8 contracts total. And that took place on the 3rd of May at 10 o'clock in the morning. Okay, save that. There we go. One trade added. Let's look at our final stats so far. We have a 53% win rate, profit factor of 2.6. I'm pretty happy with that. Average return of 659. I'm assuming that's average return per trade. And accumulated return of $8,568 so far. So there you have it. Pretty nice so far. It's logging 13 trades. Of course, that's a different amount of executions, so we'll keep that in mind. I will have to go through and start tagging these at some point, but that's basically 1 month of backtesting done. And so from April 1st through, well, really, if we just did April 1st through the end of April, I don't think it actually looked that great. Let's apply those dates real quick and see how that looked. I mean, you're up almost $5,000. So risking $500 at a time, 50% win rate, 2.13 profit factor for 1 month of trading. We had some rocky trades in there, so I'm pretty happy with how that's turning out actually. So there's our back-tested portfolio so far. I will pick this up next time because I've been going for over an hour now. And so we will finish out the month of May and then into the first couple of days of June, sometime later this week, hopefully. So thanks for watching, and click the little subscribe thing if you want to keep following along, and I'll see you next time.